Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am having pho, so let's dig right in because I'm starving. I want to get into the rant of how long this, the whole process of telling myself to do this mukbang, how long it took. But I decided on pho today because I did ask you guys on Instagram what I should eat because I just couldn't decide today. And I decided the first person that replied, I will choose that to make it easier on myself because I knew you guys were gonna give me like a variety of answers, which I know would eventually overwhelm me. So I'm just gonna make a list and then go through all of it. But everything was so helpful and I find that I really love asking you guys. It helps me out so much. But okay, the combination pho, which is basically pho with beef broth, rare steak, brisket, tripe, and tendon. And I haven't had this for quite some time because I've been leaning towards chicken pho most of the time because I am trying to lean off or like just kind of lessen my consumption of red meat. But today I was like, you know, it feels right. And I also got a side of shrimp spring rolls. First bite. Yes, okay. I'm happy. Okay. This is actually so great. As you can see though, I am struggling on eating the freaking pieces of onion. So I'm just gonna try to like not keep it whole like this. I'm gonna have to wrap it up so I'm not like gnawing on it like a freaking hamster. Way much tastier and yummier than I freaking expected, which is like one of my favorite things about doing mukbangs, especially with the ones that, you know, like you're not really feeling it today and then, you know, you get into the dish and it just like livens you up. Like I freaking feel alive now. Because I have to say, today I dealt with a lot of anxiety, which is something I do want to touch base on because I feel like it's important. I feel like a lot of us do struggle with anxiety sometimes, and today was a pretty hard day, you know. But let's get into the spring roll before I get into the deep topics. So this is the spring roll. All right, the rice paper that's wrapped around the spring roll, I feel like it's already hardened a little too much for my liking, and I did have to really wait for this delivery from DoorDash. It was like about 40 minutes late, so I kind of had a feeling. So I will see if I'm gonna even try to finish it, but I don't really want to because maybe I can savor it in my kitchen somehow. As you guys can see, I did go for flat rice noodles, which isn't the typical traditional way to eat beef pho, because traditionally it's with the thin rice noodles, right? And then usually the flat rice noodles come with the chicken pho, but I personally just love the flat white noodles. So So freaking good. That can be hard to slurp sometimes, so I think I'm just gonna skip on the slurping today. It's a little too hard. This is so yum. The broth is just so flavorful. Like, it's so in depth. It's like not, there's just not one flat level of flavor, which it's hard for me to explain, but it is be taking me on a little journey. And the broth isn't like too oily, which I'm like, I get pretty afraid of when eating pho because I am very sensitive to MSG. So whenever I do consume too much, I literally get like, I call them MSG attacks, because there's a pain that goes from like the back of my neck, it travels down my whole body to my stomach, and I have to kind of deal with it. I'm kind of like, just like stuck for a while, and like have to wait for that pain to pass. So I feel like I'm not gonna have that after this meal, which is yay. Oh, I forgot to say first sip. First, second sip. All right, so before I get into anxiety, I kind of wanted to kind of share a moment that I had today, which kind of lessened my anxiety a lot. Like, a lot. It was crazy, and I'm actually really happy to be able to share with you. So, you guys know that in my previous videos, I did state that one of my goals for the year is to be less reactive, because I am a very reactive person, especially when I get hate from people online. And I also, like, even before I started doing mukbangs, I will be reactive to other people's hate on other mukbangs account. Like, I will be defending people, you know, because I think that's just what Aries energy is, like, just being that way. And so I struggled with that a lot with the hate that I got on my account, because I just thought in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, excuse me. I got the time today, I got the energy. I always got the energy to, you know, ruffle some feathers the same way they did to me, right? And I thought that I could kind of do that forever because it doesn't really affect me. But now I realize it does affect me, that the more power I give to these haters, the more haters I'm gonna receive. if that makes sense. And I think I just understood that today, because I found that I have been getting more hate after I do give my time out and my energy, you know, replying to these people. And so it was funny because I was literally, I think I had a panic attack today. Not a panic attack, an anxiety attack. So I wasn't full on not being able to breathe, you know, but I felt like I did have an anxiety attack. And I'm not sure because I never had a full-blown one. Maybe I had in the past, but not recently. It's been a very long time. But yeah, I felt like debilitated. I felt like I couldn't really do anything. I was just really stuck, you know. For those of you that struggle with anxiety, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I like literally, I kept wanting to do a mukbang, right? Like I'm like, I know I want to do this. I need to do this, you know, like I want to do this. But then I just like, there was a pain in my stomach, my chest, that really stopped me from doing it at all. And that also made it hard for me to choose what to eat, because I'm like, you know, how can you decide in that moment? And so, and then right in the middle of it, right, I see this comment on one of my recent videos, and this girl was just like really hating on me. Like she didn't just list one little, she made many points to try to bring me down. And it was crazy because in this moment, usually I'd be like, you know, just typing up. Right in that moment, I found myself, I went and I freaking blocked her. Okay, and then I know that's not a huge thing for a lot of you guys, because that's kind of like what a lot of people do already, but it's not for me. Like I did it and I was like, wow, I was just like, no, I don't need this at all, especially right now in like today. So I just blocked her and I was like, this freaking felt so less draining, you know? And then I just had like a little I'm sorry. I just had like a little revelation. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, you know? And then it dawned on me a little bit. I was thinking like, maybe I'm having this anxiety because the past couple days, the past week, I've been really trying to like reprogram my inner beliefs that, you know, we're growing up, we all have these programs and beliefs just implanted into us because of all the time, you know, we've been hearing it or just doing things a certain way. And so I've been trying to combat that and really reprogram and like try to know what I want and how I should act, you know? And so I feel like this anxiety, like today, it was happening because like the more anxious I got, I was fighting the old ways that I would do to cope with my anxiety or to get rid of it. And because I really couldn't stand the feeling of anxiety back then, like I just could not. And so these feelings come because in a spiritual sense, they are shifting into your reality, and your reality is your outside world, right? And so when you're combating yourself inside, it will shift into your reality for the final test for you to clear it, I guess you could say, you know? I know I'm rambling, but I feel like it's such an important message to give out, especially when I just went through it right now, and how it's so real, how like, you know, when you're doing self-work, it is hard, it is freaking, like, it can be so painful, but then like now I'm feeling so much better and I'm like, okay, I get why that happened, you know? Things happen for a reason, you know? And a lot of times they're tests for you to get stronger, right? For you to build. And yes, that was my revelation today. And yeah, I'm really glad I actually decided to do a mukbang because I really wanted to get it out there. I am pretty much done with the pho. And I'm not. Okay, so I have to say my favorite part about the pho is number one, the broth. And my favorite kind of meat was the brisket. But I just realized that I did not get any tripe or tendon as the combo pho consists of. I'll just have to go back and check, but I'm okay with the amount of meat I got. I mean, it was very filling. Okay. You guys like my bowl? I know it's super Asian, guys. And I kind of like almost decided not to do mukbang because I realized I didn't have a glass big bowl. But I feel like you guys can kind of appreciate this bowl. This is all I got right now. I will invest in some, but these are just practical to use, you know? All right, so I have to be honest, I don't really want to dig into these, but I will definitely do something with them. I wonder if we soak them back in water. No, I don't know. I'm gonna Google it and see. If not, I'm just gonna take it out of the rice paper and then just make a salad or something, right? Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Also turn on push notifications, and I'll see you next time. Peace.